I want to understand for those of us who deal with not just some physical ailments, right? We come to see a trainer such as yourself, and a lot of times there's a lot more going on than just the physical.
Mhm.
And a lot of times we come, I'm saying we as a general we,
Mhm.
as you know, a lot of people will come to you, and you had mentioned this in your interview on the directory. You know, people come and they want to, like, this whole, like, let's go full throttle, and then and throughout the time that motivation, that level of intensity starts to slow down. And how do you feel people begin to heal as they're working with you, or the unhealed parts of them might show up as they're working with you? How does that impact your ability to work with them?
Um, how does that impact? Well, okay, so a lot of times it'll show up as lack of discipline, or on the other side, it can show up as people who are like super gung ho and haven't really taken the time to kind of understand what their motivations are, what their limits are, that sort of thing. Um, it can show up. Yeah, a lot of time it's really lack of a lot of I see a lot as lack of motivation, quitting, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's really how it shows up for me, and that can personally be frustrating. But yeah, my job is to kind of work with them to overcome those boundaries, and the way I generally do it is by like baby stepping people into it,
Mhm.
like building habits over time. Because if you rush, generally what happens a lot of times, say so for instance, a lot of people, they get on the crash diets, and I'll give them this laundry list of foods to eat and how many calories and all sorts of stuff, and they can stick to it for, they may stick to it for a month or two, but after that, generally they'll gain the weight right back because they haven't really built up the habits to get them there. So that's what I do. Um, so it'll show up as that, but as I'm thinking about it, a lot of it stems from, or another issue that I see is kind of lack of belief that they can do it, sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so even though they want the help, there's this like blockage to them um, actually feeling like they can do it. And it's my job again to kind of show them incrementally, like, hey, look, you did this. Oh, cool, cool. You did that. Now let's do this next thing, and then this next thing, and this next thing. And gradually, day after day, they're building the confidence in themselves. They're breaking their sort of self-limiting beliefs, and that can show up in lots of different ways. From just like, oh, I can't stop eating this or I can't stop eating that, and then just for a day, just take a day off from the candy. Instead of eating it 5 times a week, let's drop it on to 3 times a week, that sort of thing. And then they realize, oh, I can do that. Similar thing with lifting weights. All the time, I'll see people and they're like, I just can't do this, and I go, why don't you try? They're like, I just can't, and I go, okay, so it, just try it. And then they do it. I show them the proper technique, and then lo and behold, there it is. They've done it, and they've proven it to themselves. And then we're kind of off to the races after that. So I see that a lot, like self-limiting beliefs. And yeah, that's where a lot of it stems from, just like self-limiting beliefs, and then also to, yeah, again, like I said, just lack of like self-understanding what their boundaries are, what they are capable of at the minute, and then getting frustrated with that
Mm.
sort of thing. Those are